A woman who, along with her lover, killed her husband and turned her own house into a grave. But a brother's insistence to know the truth brought this soul-stirring secret out from under the ground. I am Vipul Prajapati, and today we are going to tell you the whole truth of the horrific case that happened in Nala Sop-Era, the Vijay Chauhan murder case, which shook the whole country. Sometimes the biggest stories are not on the front page of the newspaper but are hidden behind those doors, which look very ordinary from the outside. One such door opened a few weeks ago in Nala Sop-Era, Mumbai, and what was found inside shook the soul of the whole country. A quiet-looking house in which a woman, her lover, and a buried corpse were living together. This is the story of the grave, which was laid under the bed, and the love, which was actually a conspiracy of death. This is the story of a horrifying, painful, and extremely filmy, but true murder case, which not only shook the streets of Nala Sop-Era, but also spread sensation in the whole of Maharashtra and then the whole country. A case that crossed the limits of human relationships and reached such a depth where every thread of trust breaks. This is the story of Vijay Chauhan murder case, which is the face of love, deception, lust, and brutality, which makes the soul tremble. Vijay Chauhan, aged around 35 years, living in Gadgapata area of Nala Sop-Era adjacent to Mumbai, was a hard-working, simple, and calm person. He lived with his wife Komal Chauhan in his small house. In the eyes of the people, this family was normal, never a fight with anyone, no complaint. But within the four walls of this house, a secret was hidden, which was no less than a suspense thriller. Komal Chauhan, alias Chaman Chauhan, 28 years old, looks innocent but turns out to be a woman with vicious and horrifying intentions. She plans to kill her husband, with whom she had married 7 times, with the help of her lover. This lover is none other than 20-year-old Manu Sharma, who lives in their neighborhood and is 8 years younger than her, and with whom Komal had been having an illicit relationship for a long time. It starts with Vijay's sudden disappearance. One day he left home and never returned. 1 day passed, 2 days passed, a whole week passed, but there was no news of Vijay. His younger brother and the rest of the family were worried. They started looking for him everywhere, in police stations, relatives' houses, inquiring with friends, but there was no clue. Then there is another sensational twist. Vijay's wife Komal also suddenly disappears from home. And during this time, news comes of the disappearance of another boy from the neighborhood, Manu Sharma. 3 people, all 3 related, and all 3 suddenly missing. Vijay's family was now terrified. A police complaint was filed, but there were no concrete clues. Then on Monday morning, about 20 days later, Vijay's 2 brothers reached his house to look for him. The house was closed, locked. Somehow they broke the lock and entered. Everything inside was lying in order, but there was something that gave them goosebumps. Most of the floor of the house was covered with old, worn-out tiles, but in one corner were brand new and shiny tiles, about 6 feet long, and that too recently. Their suspicions deepened. Why new tiles only at that one spot? They gathered courage, picked up tools, and started removing the tiles from that spot. After removing the tiles, a few people started digging there. As they dug about 6 feet, they saw a piece of cloth, like someone's vest, and then a part of a hand. Now it was certain something very wrong had happened. Immediately the police was called. Officers and forensic team from Palhar police station reached the spot. The house was sealed and the digging was done professionally. What came out in a few hours was the rotten body of Vijay Chauhan. The body was buried very cleverly, and a bed was placed on top of it with tiles laid, so that no one would suspect anything. Now all the suspicion fell on Komal and Manu Sharma. The police started tracking their mobile numbers. Both had kept their phones switched off while running, but made a mistake. They switched on the phone for just 5 minutes, and the police traced their location in Pune during that time. The detection branch of the police immediately reached Pune, and within 24 hours both were arrested from room number 171. Both were living together. He was brought back to Nala Sop-Era. Now the interrogation began, and layer by layer, horrifying secrets were revealed. What Komal told during interrogation was shocking. She told that she did not like Vijay for a long time. The marriage happened under compulsion. But a few months ago she met Manu and they had physical relations. Both started dreaming of living together, but the biggest obstacle in between was Vijay. Now they together made a horrifying plan. One night when Vijay returned home in a drunken state, Komal first gave him sleeping pills mixed in his food. As soon as he became unconscious, Manu was called. Both of them together strangled Vijay to death. Then, after preparing for the whole night, a pit was dug in the house. The body was buried and a bed was placed on top by putting new tiles, as if nothing had happened. When Vijay's younger brother, who was not at home, returned home after a few days, he became suspicious. But Komal and Manu had fled by then. The reason for suspicion was those shiny tiles, which were different from the old tiles of the whole house. This doubt became the first link of this whole case. When the media talked to Komal's father, he also gave a very emotional and shocking statement. If my daughter has done this, then she must be punished, be it a daughter or a son. If a crime has been committed, then punishment must be given. This statement from Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh shook the whole country. This case was no less than a film story. People named it Drishyam Real Story. But this was not just a film story. This was reality. A wife, along with her lover, killed her own husband and turned the same house into his grave. She slept day and night on the same bed, under which her husband's dead body was rotting. This case raised many questions. Can love be so blind? Can lust and desire for freedom turn a person into a monster? Can a wife be so ruthless that she can sleep peacefully on her husband's dead body? Currently, the police have produced both the accused in the court and they have been kept in police custody. The investigation is on, was there a third person involved in this conspiracy? Did Manu commit the murder alone? Or did Komal also help in strangulation? As the investigation progresses, more layers of this murder will be revealed. But one thing is certain. This case of Nala Sop-Era has become one of the most horrific domestic murder cases in India. And this is the lesson: when madness and love crosses the limits of law and humanity, its price is death. This story is not just about a murder. It is the murder of the trust that we have in our closest relationships. This is the blood of the relationship that we call husband and wife. And this is the graveyard of that humanity, which was destroyed by greed, lust, and deceit.